let's talk about. We talked about Caleb Williams a little bit in the main show. Of course, my sound off was how I'm ready to move on. I think it's time for me to move on into the Caleb Williams era, as my co-host says that I will change my mind again. I don't think I will, but I also am not saying I won't. And this is something that we still got. We still got about 5 weeks just to the combine comes, so we still got a long time before it's actually time to actually see who's going to be the quarterback for the Chicago Bears next year. But the question here. My guy Cap had a very good rant on his show. Cap and Jay.
Good job. Keep up the good work, guys.
Shout out to Cap, man. I fuck with Cap as Bang always messes with me about. I fuck with Cap. You know what I'm saying? He is him and Jay Hood Morning Show on ESPN 1000 Monday through Friday. And basically his rant was, what are Bears fans scared of? Or in Cap's verse, what are you scared of? It's like you're trying to find your wife. He like, oh, I'm scared to go on a date. He went on an extra over-the-top rant, which I appreciated, because rant-wise, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was a 10, Cap. That was one of your best rants. But the question begs itself, and I think this is something that, I've asked myself, that I feel like Bears fans, whether they agree with Cap or not, should ask themselves, what is the big fear about drafting a Caleb Williams? And do we think that this fan base as a whole is scared of Caleb Williams? Because me personally, I feel like it's equal fear. I feel like there's a fear that he could be a bust. That is a legit chance that Caleb Williams could be a bust, especially with all the hype they're throwing him. I have not seen this much hype on a prospect coming out. I think this hype is even bigger than Trevor Lawrence. I think that the most hype I've seen since a quarterback with Caleb Williams has probably been Andrew Luck. And I'm saying hype. I'm not saying he's as good as Andrew Luck. But I think the hype is we haven't seen this since Andrew Luck, maybe Cam Newton, since we've seen this. So he's going to have tremendous pressure coming on him. So there is a good chance that he could be a bust. And also the Bears have never put together a great offensive system in their 100+ years of being in existence. What makes you think they're going to do it now? There's a legit fear of that, but I also think there's a legit fear of Justin Fields. Maybe Justin Fields just is who he is. And I'm not saying, I got to keep always saying this when we talk about Justin Fields. Yes, the coaching and system is 70% of the blame, in my personal opinion. 75% of the blame, in my opinion. There's also that 25 to 30%. And maybe it's just him at the same time. He makes a lot of mistakes that third-year quarterbacks still shouldn't be making. So I feel like there's equal fear in this situation. But I feel like there's more fear in people worried about Caleb Williams being a bust more than Justin. I'm gonna go to Dante for Dante's eating. I'm gonna go to Bang first. As far as what he feels about the fan base's, I guess, fear towards Caleb. Do you think there is a legit fear?
Shit, I'm eating too.
Oh, my bad.
but now here's the thing, Scott. I'm using my chicken as a prop here. Cat is telling us that we shouldn't be afraid of watching a quarterback that is supposedly a generational talent. I'm not saying he is or isn't. But why are we supposed to not be scared? Because of college football highlights? Every college player has a great highlight tape. Shit, damn near every high school player got a great highlight tape. Matter of fact, you want to go look at a highlight tape? Go look at Ricky's highlight tape on Boys in the Hood with Tevin Campbell playing in the background. Everybody got a good highlight tape, fam. The Bears fans have a reason to be scared and be nervous because you're putting so much pressure on a quarterback. And this is the first time we would actually pick at number 1 since like the 30s or some shit. So yeah, you would be nervous when you look at the fact that Caleb Williams is touted as a can't miss project, a generational talent. You see the highlight film and all of that, him running, throwing off of his back foot, throwing it 50 yards and all of that shit. And then he become a Bear and he sucks. Yeah, that's a fear. Don't patronize the Bears fans with that shit. That's what I don't like. Don't patronize the Bears fans because you think just because everybody says he's a generational talent, yada, 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 yada. I think they did a little. They looked at like all of the first round picks, the number one picks that was quarterbacks for the last like 20 years, and like 40 succeeded, 60 didn't. So the fuck, this ain't baseball, my nigga. This is not. I'm getting excited for Ted Williams stats. This is football. Doing that could fuck up your franchise. So Cap, stop patronizing fans. They got a reason to be scared.
But here's my question to you: are you scared of Caleb Williams?
Yes, I am scared of this. Because if he does not be what you want him to be, and then Justin ass go to another team and he looks great. Let me paint a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about this earlier. Let's say, for instance, that Bill Belichick, or since he got a second interview too, Jim Harbaugh. Let's say, for instance, any one of them is the coach of the Atlanta Falcons. What we talked about in the show earlier is that whoever goes there is actually going to have a talented offense and defense. They have a top flight running back. Matter of fact, low key, they have two. Because I can't pronounce homie last name, but Tyler
Algier.
Yeah, he be out here getting it too. So you got him and Bijan. You got a pretty decent offensive line that you can improve during this draft. You got Drake London. You have Kyle Pitts. You go get you, let's say, for instance, with that, ninth pick in the draft, or eighth pick in the draft, excuse me, you go get you a Brock Bowers. You got two top flight tight ends with a hell of a defense. Let's say, for instance, Bill Belichick gets that. And you trade him to that team. Justin. And Bill Belichick started rubbing his hands like Birdman looking at the window. They're in a weak division. So they could come out of that division as weak as hell. Let's say they come out of that division 11-7 or 11-6 or whatever. And it's Bill Belichick in the playoffs. In the playoffs, y'all. He got a point to prove. He gets his hands on Justin and he do all of that and he ends up in the Super Bowl. And we end up 7-10 again. Yeah, okay, I'm scared.
Here's my question to you. Which one are you more scared of? Are you more scared of the chance that, are you more scared about Justin going somewhere else and being what we think he can be? Or are you more scared about Caleb going somewhere and becoming what a lot of people think he will, and Justin just stays what he is? Which one is more scary to you, man?
Justin.
Okay.
Because then you start looking back like the meme, like, wow, I could have had that. If I had the right coaching staff around him, because Flus ain't going nowhere. I could have had that if I put pieces around him. I could have had that if I actually coached him up. Yeah, I'm scared of somebody getting them and coaching them up and doing all of the things that we couldn't do. Hell yeah, I'm scared.
Dante, where do you stand on this? We know that you're also pro Justin. Before we give your opinion on if you think Bears fans are scared, I'm gonna ask you, which scenario scares you more? The one I just been in the bang. Justin going to Atlanta or Vegas or somewhere, lighting it up, and Caleb is, not as good as they thought he would be, or the fact that we keep Justin, they surround him with talent, and he's still middle of the road, and Caleb does become that generational QB. Which situation scares you the most?
That Justin leaves and lights it up. Because if I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm of the belief that if you put pieces around Justin, he's not going to fail. Like I'm that sold on Justin. I know we keep harping on the negative, which naturally you're gonna do when you have an opportunity to go get a quote unquote generational pick after the whole Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson fiasco, after, last year trading the number one pick. Now you got it again. So people are saying, third time, you can't really pass up on that. But I'm of the belief that wherever you trade Justin Fields, he's going to shine, especially when they put a system around him. I don't have a doubt about that. I feel like, you said 70% was the scheme. I think a lot of that, I would go up to 80. And I think the 20% that we were concerned about, a lot of that was heightened by the fact that the scheme was so ass. And you had, current and former player after player say, yo, what the fuck was he supposed to do with this? Like, you're running, two wide outs going out, running the same route, running to the same area, You know what I'm saying? You got your fucking 5'6" slot receiver trying to block Myles Garrett, like silly shit. So like I'm under the belief that, you know, he's going to shine wherever he goes. And if you keep him in Chicago, he will shine. So that's probably what scares me the most. As far as Bear fans, man, JR hit the nail on the head. We have every right to be scared about the number one pick because that shit is not a guarantee. It's simply not. As much as people want to say it is, I don't care how great of a prospect Caleb is. He's just that, a prospect, which means you still have to develop him. You still have to do all the things that you need in order to be successful. And so with the shaky way they've handled Justin, like I said, I'm you know, I'm optimistic about the staff that Poles is trying to put together, but at the same time, do I want to see them go back? Yeah, we're gonna save a couple million. Well, yeah, the Bears will save a couple $1 million, but do we really want to take a step back and start with a day one quarterback, or you know, are we gonna roll the dice and hope that Caleb is as elite as they say he is? Because I mean, truth be told, I meant to say this on the pod Monday. If Caleb Williams comes in and he's Trevor Lawrence, people are going to be furious.
Yeah, 100%.
Like furious. And Trevor Lawrence made the fucking playoffs. Right. If he comes in and he's Trevor Lawrence, they're furious. So it's like you have to know that A, this kid is that good, and B, we're going to surround him with everything he needs to make sure he's that good. So it's a roll of the dice. So the Bears fans have every right to be scared because we've never seen this franchise do that.
I'll add to that real quick. I'll add to that real quick for what you said. If Justin, look, even if Caleb Williams does good, if Justin goes anywhere and succeed, then it's like, aha, y'all didn't do right by him.
Yeah, but I think that's. But I think the do right thing is beside the point at this point. That we all know they didn't do him right.
No, if we know that, what it is proof. It will actually be proof. See, when Mitch went to Pittsburgh, he still ass. It's like, all right, cool. Yes, we dodged that bullet. Quarterback wise, if Justin goes and do that, even though we know it's like Leonardo DiCaprio and the meme, like, see, we told you right now, all of these Cap, David Kaplan, and half of those niggas on 670 The Score, and half of these folks on ESPN 1000, a lot of these niggas on these random ass blogs and shit are all
in the Bears media.
Right. All the people in the Bears media are all saying Caleb is a generational prospect. Some of that is because other people are saying it. They're saying, let's just go ahead and move on. They're using Josh Rosen as an example and others as an example of, hey, we just got to, hey, he's good, but let's go get great. But even if Caleb Williams is successful, the reason why these folks are something like Cap yelling about Brock here, talking about some, look at his fourth quarter stats. Look at this, look at that. The minute he goes somewhere and he looks elite, like a lot of the players in the NFL are trying to tell you, no matter what, they gonna look at that no matter where that man at, especially if they get to the playoffs, especially if they get to a Super Bowl, and say, you had an elite talent. All you had to do was build around him. And then Caleb is going to have to deal with that pressure because I don't give a damn what nobody say. As good as that defense is, and as good as Caleb Williams could be, we ain't going to no Super Bowl next year. We ain't even got the coach to do that. So you put that man with some, I don't want to say.
I don't even think that Justin's going to take a team Super. This is the thing that I feel like, and this is going to sound like
I'm not saying it. I just want to clear this up. I don't think he is unless he goes to the right situation. But the scary part about it is Atlanta with Bill Belichick is one of those scary situations because of the division that they're in. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, and I'm playing devil's advocate here because I agree with everything y'all are saying. I don't want to make it sound like I'm switching up on Justin or I no longer believe in Justin. That's not the case. I'm just saying, this is one thing that Bears fans got to ask themselves. If this was any other quarterback on any other team, would we be naming all these things that went wrong? Like, Justin just might be a guy. I'm not saying, I don't think we're even bringing that possibility. I think there's so many people who are so enamored with the idea of Justin that we're not even given the possibility of this just might be who this nigga is. And even if he does go somewhere and he's good, I don't think he's gonna be somebody who's taking the team to the Super Bowl next year.
No,
that'll be a 1-year turnaround and we've never seen before.
Yeah, I would say this. I think it's not that he's just a guy. I think again, once like we keep saying, you know, when you've seen the situation and how shitty it is, the reason we feel that way is because as Bear fans, we've watched every fucking snap he's taken. So yeah, if he was on another team, we may not be as passionate, but that's simply because we may not have done the same research we've been doing with Justin.
That's true.
So like that's why I feel so strongly about it, is because like I've sat here and watched these fucking screenplays. I've sat here and watched these bullshit formations, these personnel packages that make no sense. Like we saw what they did when they went to Cleveland both times. When I seen all of this, and then like I said, don't get me wrong, because you know I'm the main one to tell you, just because the athlete said don't mean it's true. A lot of these niggas are dumb. Exactly. But when it comes to the X's and O's, it's been way more, hey, he can't do shit with this, than okay, he has to make that play. Because every quarterback has 3 or 4 passes a game that they miss. That's why I hate fucking all 22s, because you can't just sit here and nitpick. Yeah, because that's bro. Every quarterback, even the great ones, they have plays. Well, damn, I could have hit him over there. That's why they all got the fucking iPads on the sidelines watching plays after the fact. So to sit here and like, that's why I feel like a lot of the scrutiny with Justin, we said this a couple weeks ago, he's just been overanalyzed. Like every fucking throw he makes, somebody got to comment on it. Every time it got to a point, bro. It was one play. The man ran for 30 yards, and they was like, "Well, he had DJ open in the flat. So you know what's gonna happen there?" It's like, fuck out of here, bro. Like we don't have to do.
We don't do that with any other quarterback. And I'll say this because we got other stuff to go into today. I'll say this too. Like there's no situation where Bears fans are gonna be happy. I believe, because it just like I feel like you have to have a reasonable expectation. And I'm not saying that. You know, I understand people who have unreasonable expectations for Caleb Williams, because if you're not as knowledgeable on the game, you're going to go by what other people tell you. Caleb is going to have a Andrew Luck year next year, I believe, to get people to shut the fuck up. Because I don't think Justin's going somewhere and going to be ass. Like I just don't see that happening. I think at the worst case scenario, he is who he is right now. So I feel like, yes, there's that. But at least for me, I'm speaking for me, the average Bears fan is not going to be happy unless this nigga not Patrick Mahomes, but Caleb Williams scores 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and the Bears win the division.
Scott, they didn't do him right. How we expect Caleb Williams to be treated the same? No, I'm not saying no. Listen to me. We didn't do Justin right. So how are Bears fans not supposed to be scared when you didn't do the talented one right?
I'm not saying talented. That you shouldn't be scared, but
I'm not saying you. What I'm saying is I'm talking about Cap. What Cap said, they didn't do the most talented quarterback they've ever had in a Bears uniform right. We finally got some talent. So how can Cap expect Bears fans not to be scared when the one you had, the one that had all of the talent, the arm skill, all of this shit that y'all talked about, him coming out of Ohio State, how you gonna tell them not to be scared when you're about to get somebody else and do it again? That's what I'm mad at. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with, that's the one thing I was against Cap with, is Bears fans have every right to be scared. My point is, I feel like there's just amount of, not just amount, but I don't think enough people look into the possibility that Justin just might be a need to be in a perfect situation guy. And I'm not saying I believe that. Go ahead.
Because I had an answer to that, because you had said that before. You had an answer to that. I got an answer to that. There's more just the guys that won the Super Bowl than other guy, and then the main guy. And that and I'm not saying, and that I think that's the biggest thing right there.
Okay, who was the last quarterback to win, and he wasn't just because of a guy?
Shit. Let's go through the last Super Bowl winners.
Last year was Patrick Mahomes. That was Matthew Stafford.
Matter of fact, Patrick Mahomes is the last one. That's what I'm saying. Like
Matthew Stafford was the missing piece. Them niggas hovered.
No.
Because of guys, what I'm saying.
He's the missing piece. but he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
no, I'm
he's
not saying
the piece.
nobody's Patrick Mahomes, but what I'm saying, he was the piece in that situation because them niggas have been in the Super Bowl and they were hovering around.
But Matthew Stafford is still just a guy. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's just a guy.
Dak Prescott's just a guy. Matthew Stafford is better than Dak Prescott.
You said we said when they won the Super Bowl, when Russ won his Super Bowl, he wasn't the Russ that was throwing the moon balls.
That was 10 years ago, is what I'm saying. That was 10 years ago.
It don't matter what time it is. You ask the question about,
and I'm not saying that you can't win with that. I'm honestly just trying to play devil's advocate. And my part, this is for me. For me,
I'm playing with your devil. I'm playing with you. I'm playing devil's advocate with you.
You with me? I'm not saying that you with me. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm way more afraid of Caleb being generational somewhere. And this has nothing to do with Justin. This is a unique situation. Like you said, the Bears have it back at number one. I can sleep at night if if Justin goes somewhere he's good. You know what I'm saying? I can't sleep at night if Justin's good here, but Caleb is looking like the next guy. That's just me. So that's why I've moved over to the moon. But I understand both sides of it. I do think that, and this is just me asking for something that's never gonna happen. I do think that both sides need to stop being 100% definitive on what they believe is going to happen.
That's the whack shit. That's the whack shit. But yeah, I mean, to your Matthew Stafford point, he was the guy that got them over the hump. Yeah. But he was what they needed. But he's not like we're not putting him in the same category.
He's not elite. Like there's only 3 elite niggas in the league.
Right. Like Mahomes, like before that, it was Tom Brady that won the Super Bowl. So we know that right there. It's really been Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. The Eagles, when they won the Super Bowl, they won it with just a guy. When Peyton Manning won his Super Bowl at that time with the Denver Broncos, at that time, he was just a guy. If you want to look at the Super Bowls, if you actually want to go look at the Super Bowls and take a look at the time that they were playing, not the name, but at the time that they were playing, that this person was an elite quarterback. The last technical to me elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl was the dude. No, was the dude I'm talking about outside of Patrick Mahomes
and Tom Brady. Outside of
them. The last elite quarterback that won a Super Bowl is one that we hate to this day, and it is Aaron fucking Rodgers. Outside of that, it's the elite ones right there. So that's a 2011. So if you go from 2011 and it's 2023, out of all of those years, it's only been 3 elite quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. Everybody else had a team around them. So to answer your question, answer your devil's advocate question, I'm just saying that, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. But Cap can't say that shit.
No, I agree. Yeah.
There's a Cap can't say that shit and put that shit on Bears fans. When you look at the last Super Bowl winners, and it's been 3 elite quarterbacks, not by name, but by play that season and in that game, that counts them for being Super Bowl winners since 2011. And that's Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady. After that is niggas that you put a whole bunch of shit around and they win. So either way it go, we in a good situation. I ain't mad at it. What I'm saying is I'm just saying that Cap full of shit when he's saying what he's saying. He's saying that shit because he's just trying to be somebody's motherfucking what's his name? Goddamn the
Boudini Brown.
No, not even Boonity Brown. What's the motherfucker from the old white nigga from the news guy from goddamn Monday Night Football that was always around? Yeah, he just trying to be a Howard Cosell to this motherfucking Muhammad Ali. That's all it is. He trying to jump on his nuts now. So hey, I can go
come on the show.
Yeah, get the fuck up out of here, man.
This is the last thing I'll say, and we're gonna move on. Yeah. This kind of reminds me, but not to the extent, because obviously this guy is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever lived. This kind of reminds me of the Joe Montana, Steve Young situation, where people who are so, Joe won his championships. Joe's going to go somewhere else and be dominant. Remember, that was a thing, too. Steve Young had so much pressure on him. Even though Steve Young didn't get the monkey off his back till he won the Super Bowl. Remember, you saw Jerry Rice lifting the monkey off his back. And before that, I think Joe Montana went to an AFC championship game before.
He went to yes, he did. He went to the AFC champ. Yep, he went to the AFC championship.
Steve Young won the championship, and that was heat on him. So I think on a smaller scale, it's going to be that type of situation. But we're going to get into this multiple times over the next couple of weeks. This will not be the first time we had this conversation.
That paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not going to hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not going to